I belong to the MAGI's Bioethics Committee. We've done publications and we've done certain pieces of work. I came here to give a lecture on the importance of bioethics in the MAGI network. Surely my teaching every year for the last 20 or so years in bioethics in my university at the Ben-Gurion University in the Negev in Israel brings us and shows us the importance to bring to the young people and of course to the networks and organizations that require ethics, the importance of bioethics. Just a few words about our teaching. We take students, we give them, of course, lectures, but most important, they do work. They do interviews, they do their own movie, actually, and this is how we grade them, and they actually pivot their thinking over time. It's quite interesting to see the evolution of thinking among the students studying bioethics. Biotechnology is a field that requires bioethics, and the changing trends in the 21st century of human exploration, we're not talking space exploration, but human exploration in terms of understanding better and better the understanding of our human body. All these together with big data, artificial intelligence, and all these new techniques that are arising, and of course the genetic progress in coding the genes brings us to a point where progress can go really fast. But what cannot go so fast is the ethics behind it. And it's very important that at the beginning of studies, bioethics will be very close to such studies. In my research, in the last 20 or so years, we have been confronted with a number of bioethical issues. There are many. I can give examples of discovery of biodiversity, bioactive compounds in the Red Sea. We discovered these new molecules. The question is, who owns them? We have a startup company that uses them. We have a patent. But nobody really asked the question, having found a compound in the Red Sea, that who does it really belong to? We work in Africa. We've taken samples of Ebola, brought them back to our country, got us into an investigation. How did we do that and whatever, but the investigation went well. But it's true, we can cross borders with samples. What is the ethics behind that? We've sent students with bacterial samples across borders. The customs, they look at them. They're not interested in them, sorry. They're interested in the instrument that the student goes with. Do they have to pay tax or not tax? But the bacteria, nobody cares. There's a lot of ethical issues here that are arising from our work. There are examples, of course, of us doing medical clinical studies. Most of what we publish is actually based on clinical data, clinical samples, specimens. Of course, we have to go through ethical committees for every collaboration with every doctor and every project we do. This is a common practice in what we do. And there's many other examples. But one example I do like is when we organized in Senegal a conference, I took a team of scientists across 100 and so kilometers in Senegal, and the idea was to make a study of mosquitoes and ticks in a village. So here we get to a village, and there is actually no ethical committee involvement here, but the ethical committee is actually the village chief of the Senegalese village, and you sit down 45 minutes with him and you talk about what you want to do and that sort of thing. And if he thinks it's okay what you're doing and all that, you're free to go in the village, and you're completely free. You can go in without knocking into the little huts, looking for mosquitoes, ticks, and the animals and that sort of thing. So the ethics committee is actually the chief of the village. It's quite interesting. At any rate, it's very important, bioethics, in the century coming up, because there's a lot of biotechnology that will be created, a lot of privacy issues, hackers of data, because the future is really data. And And this is the century coming up, and we'll have to find ways of moderating this.